There is this woman I always see at the gym. Her name is Amina. She's about 45 years old, and she has 2 kids. Every time I'm there, she keeps looking at me, but I act like I don't notice. One day, she walked up to me with a warm smile and said, "Hi, I'm new in town. I'd like us to be friends." Her voice was soft and calm. I smiled back and said, "Okay, no problem." We exchanged numbers. That night, she called me. Her voice sounded excited as she asked if we could meet somewhere. I hesitated for a moment but agreed. When I got to the place, she was parked by the roadside, waiting. I entered her car, and she drove us to a quiet restaurant. As we sat down, she began telling me her story. She said her husband divorced her a few years ago, and she's been raising her 2 children alone. She admitted, almost shyly, that she hadn't been with anyone in 4 years. I was stunned. Here I was, a 21-year-old guy, sitting across from a woman who looked like she'd seen life. Yet, there was something about her that drew me in, the way she spoke, the sadness in her eyes, and the confidence she carried. We talked for hours. By the time we left, she seemed lighter, almost happy. But I didn't expect what was coming next. 2 weeks later, she called me again. This time, she invited me to her house. "My kids are in boarding school," she said casually. When I got there, she welcomed me with a tight hug. Her body was soft and warm, and I could feel my heart racing. I knew she felt it too. She let go, smiling, and asked me to sit on the couch. She brought some juice, and we drank while talking about random things. Then, she excused herself and went to her room. When she came back, she was wearing a satin nightgown. I couldn't believe my eyes. Her figure was stunning, like something out of a dream. She walked over and sat on my lap, her back facing me. My hands moved on their own, and I gently touched her shoulders. She didn't stop me. Instead, she leaned back into me, and that was the moment everything changed. Before I knew it, we were in her room. The air was thick with tension and desire. I felt like I was in a trance, unable to control myself. She was unlike anyone I had ever been with. Her touch was experienced, confident, and overwhelming. It was a night I would never forget. Since that night, we've been together a few more times. But now, I'm starting to feel uneasy. Amina has become so attached to me. She calls constantly, sends messages, and always wants to see me. At first, it was flattering, but now it's starting to feel like too much. She talks about how happy she is with me, how I've brought joy back into her life. She even hinted that she doesn't want anyone else but me. I don't know what to do. She's a wonderful woman, but I'm just 21. I didn't plan for this kind of relationship. Every time I try to create some distance, she pulls me back with her words, her touch, and the way she makes me feel. It's like I'm trapped in a web I can't escape from. And deep down, I'm afraid of where this might lead. The question now is, do I walk away and risk breaking her heart, or do I stay and risk losing myself? The more I think about it, the harder it becomes to decide. I never thought meeting someone at the gym would lead to something this intense, this complicated, and this unforgettable.